All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is January 25, 2018. This is the January session of the Special Magistrate for Code Enforcement for the City of Oviedo. We have two dockets today, a code enforcement docket and an administrative citation docket. We're going to begin with the administrative citation docket. We don't have only one item on it, and get the party there and the police, get the police officer back on the street. First item is citation number 8171. The respondent is Karen Santomaro, and there's no tag number available. Who is speaking to this item today? All right. Yes, will you step forward? Anyone who's speaking to this item today? Step to the microphone, both of you, please. And first, state your full name very clearly.
Officer Kaufman, Oviedo Police Department.
What's your first name, Mr. Kaufman?
Kyle.
And your name, ma'am?
Karen Santomaro.
All right. Would you both raise your right hands? Do you solemnly affirm the testimony you should give today should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ms. Santomaro?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. We'll hear first from Mr. Kaufman, and then Ms. Santomaro. It'll be your turn. So if you want to sit down while he's talking, that's okay.
Awesome. Super.
All right. Officer Kaufman?
All right. On 11/9/2017, I received a call around. Well, I arrived on scene at 11:32 p.m. It was the area of 1844 Garden Stage Drive.
1844?
Yes, sir. Someone had called in for a vehicle parked in front of a fire hydrant. Upon arrival, I observed the vehicle, which is, the tag is DLQ9P. It was a Honda.
Give me that tag number again.
DLQ9P.
9.
P as in Papa.
P as in Papa?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I observed that vehicle parked in front of the fire hydrant, and I issued a citation. I also have it was a parking citation. And I also have a picture of the citation, or the violation as well.
Give me the address again. 1844.
Garden Sage.
Garden
Sage.
Stage?
Sage. Sierra, Alpha, Golf, Echo.
Okay. Garden Sage
Drive.
Drive. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. First, let me see the citation. All right. That will be received in evidence as City's Exhibit 1. And what else do you have?
So I have a picture, and the picture actually is better on the computer screen, so I brought it so you can see, but that's for evidence.
All right. Let me see the one on the screen first. Ms. Santomaro, have you seen this? Have you seen the photograph? Do you want to?
No.
Yeah, okay. All right. So the photograph will be admitted into evidence as City's exhibit. All right. Anything else?
Yes. I have the notes on there of when I arrived on scene as well as when I got off on scene. I wanted to say it was a 35-minute window or close to 35.
You're showing an arrival time of 11:32.
Right. And then if you see the number underneath where it says like a C, that's for clear.
11:55.
Yes, sir.
So you were there during that time period?
Yes, sir.
And so the vehicle was there for that long?
Yes. And also I did knock on a couple doors. Obviously I didn't know whose car it was. So I tried to knock on doors to see if I could find who it was to get it to move, and I wasn't successful in finding anyone. So.
All right. Is this near a business?
No, it's a neighborhood, sir.
Such a residential neighborhood?
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Santamaro?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
You
on
have-
that evening that he stated, I was actually running behind the schedule for everything, and my friend lives in 1844. So what happened was the lady across the street, Lucille, is a big advocate, and so am I, for the Vietnam vets. So what happened was I have had 7 bags of clothes, I've had toys, all the stuff that I was delivering, and it was late, but they were coming in the morning. And I was going through the start of peak season for FedEx, so I was very tired, and I pulled up, and I just pulled up because the door on that side was going towards the house where I was delivering. I gathered all my stuff out of there, obviously, before he got there. And the lady that actually called this in, she calls in numerous amounts of complaints against my friend at 1844. She lives right next door, and she does this. Normally, Oviedo Police does not come through this neighborhood at all. It's a gated Isles of Oviedo. And it's gated, and it's very quiet. And the only reason why he was back there is because she decided she has a vengeance against, she's a lonely person. She lives by herself. And she calls in, and you could probably look her up. I don't know the number of her house. You might have it because you're the one that went out there. So she calls in Oviedo Police, and for no reason. They have been out there before for anything. She just does this consistently. So I pulled up, and I'm doing some good for the world, and I went into this lady, Lucille. She's going to be 80 this year. I couldn't have her come out and help me, so I was bringing this stuff in. And the reason for the span of time that I was there was because when I went in, I helped her to move some of the bags up the stairs so she can organize it a little bit for clothes and toys, because they were all coming the truck was coming the next day in the morning. So I've never had a parking ticket in Oviedo. I've lived in Oviedo for almost 25, 26 years. I'm a driver for FedEx. I'm a very professional driver. I normally wouldn't have done that. I didn't doing it like intentionally. I just pulled up, did it, got my stuff out, brought it in, and that was the case of it. And like I said, I'm a clean record. I'm a FedEx courier. I get up at 3:30 every morning, and I'm at the airport, and I do good for the world a lot. And I really would like to ask if I can, have some kind of a warning this time, because I didn't really. It wasn't meant to obstruct justice or anything like that. It was more like it was very late. Like he said, it was 11 whatever, and the only time that was in there was to take the stuff that was heavy inside her house and her garage, and we closed everything, so it was late. So I did, she's really secured about her house, and, but anyway, that's the deal with that, and I apologize for having him come out and, have to waste his time on this stuff, but it wasn't intentional. And like I said, the lady that did call it in calls in on everybody, little things that waste the Oviedo Police Department's time, and I'm sure they can vouch for that. Robert Van Housen's been out there. Matter of fact, I'm friends with Robert, and he's friends with 1844, who is James McLean, who lives there, and that's a very good friend of mine. And we all contribute to the community all the time. And I've never, ever, ever, ever in my time here in Oviedo have ever gotten a parking ticket, ever. Or a speeding ticket.
How long were you parked there?
I was parked there probably for the amount of time he said, probably like for 35, 40 minutes, maybe, because of what I was doing was taking the stuff out of the car and organizing for her. And like I said, she's an 80-year-old woman. She is like very, very nice too. She would have come today, but to help me out here, but a box fell on her nose and caused her to have black eyes this week, so she didn't want to come and have to show everybody. But she was pulling something out of her garage thing for the Vietnam vets, and it fell on her nose. So but anyway, her name is Lucille, and I don't know. I'm from a good family, and I give a lot, and I'm just asking if you can see my record is very clean. And I normally wouldn't have done that. It was just right across, the roads are like this big. It's not like I pulled in, there's room to move, and, so I am just asking for, because right now, I just went through a divorce, and I'm having some financial issues myself, so $30 to me is a gas tank for my son who goes to UCF, who works for the Limitless program, building those robotic arms, and, I have a lot going on in my life, and this $30 is a lot for me.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right. Well, first, I'm a little put off with the fact that you're blaming the lady who called it in. Even if it's a gated community, she has a right to, if her house catches fire, to know that the fire truck can get to the fire hydrant. So I'm going to fine you $30.
Okay.
That should be paid no later than midnight of February 8th.
Okay.
I'll be issuing an order
Okay.
to that effect, and when you get ready to pay the fine, it will be paid next door here.
I'll just pay it today.
All right, well, I'll give you an order to that effect, and you can take it next door. I don't take the money, but I'll give you. What's that? Yes, I'm going to give you something here very shortly. What's that? I don't think so. All right, I'm going to add one of the code enforcement specialists to certify hand delivery by signing this. And then if you take that next door, they should take your money. Thank you. All right, any other business to come before the magistrate on the administrative citation docket? All right, this will conclude the administrative citation docket. We'll take about a 2 or 3 minute break for them to change the film upstairs, the recording device, and then we'll go into the code enforcement docket.